If I told you there were 5 foods, just 5, that could lower your inflammation, protect your brain, strengthen your heart, and maybe even add years to your life, you'd probably think I was trying to sell you something. I'm not. I'm Grace, and I spent the last week going through over 40 research studies so you don't have to. No miracle cures, no expensive superfoods, no powders or pills. Just 5 real foods you can find at any grocery store. And every single one is backed by serious science. Let's start with number 1, and honestly, if you only add one food from this list, make it this one. Fatty fish. I'm talking about salmon, sardines, mackerel, and herring. These are the richest natural source of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. And the research on these after 60 is honestly remarkable. A 2025 dose-response meta-analysis published in Scientific Reports, that's 58 randomized controlled trials combined, found that omega-3 supplementation significantly improved attention, memory, processing speed, and overall cognitive function in adults. And the benefits were strongest at about 2,000 milligrams per day. But here's what I find really interesting. A separate 2025 narrative review in Nutrition and Dietary Supplements looked specifically at omega-3s and Alzheimer's prevention in older women. They found that DHA and EPA have genuine neuroprotective and anti-inflammatory effects in the brain. But the key is starting early. Once Alzheimer's is advanced, the benefits drop significantly, which means the time to start is now, not later. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not telling you to throw away your medications. But I am telling you that 2 servings of fatty fish per week, that's what the American Heart Association recommends, is one of the most well-supported dietary choices you can make after 60. A piece of salmon the size of your palm twice a week, that's it. And if you don't like fish, we'll talk about an alternative in food number 5. Stay with me. Number 2, blueberries. Now I know what you're thinking. Everyone says blueberries are healthy, but the research on what they do specifically for the aging brain is genuinely fascinating. Blueberries are packed with anthocyanins. Those are the compounds that give them that deep blue-purple color. And anthocyanins don't just sit in your stomach. They actually cross the blood-brain barrier and accumulate in regions of the brain responsible for memory and learning. A 2025 double-blind randomized controlled trial in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition tested this directly. They gave healthy adults aged 65 to 80 the equivalent of about 1 cup of wild blueberries daily for 12 weeks. The blueberry group showed measurable improvements in vascular function and cognitive performance compared to placebo. And a separate trial at the University of Cincinnati found that overweight adults in their 50s and 60s with early memory concerns who ate blueberries daily had improved executive function and reduced memory and coding difficulty in their everyday lives. That means they actually noticed the difference. The practical part? This isn't expensive or complicated. Half a cup to 1 cup of blueberries a day, fresh, frozen. Frozen are actually just as good nutritionally, and they're cheaper. Toss them on your oatmeal, blend them in a smoothie, or just eat them straight out of the bowl like I do. Number 3, extra virgin olive oil. And I want to emphasize the extra virgin part. That matters, and I'll tell you why. The PREDIMED trial, which is one of the largest and most important nutrition studies ever conducted, followed over 7,000 adults at high cardiovascular risk. The group that added 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil daily had a 30% lower risk of major cardiovascular events compared to the control group. 30% from one change. But here's the part most people miss. A 2024 study in JAMA Network Open followed over 90,000 adults for up to 28 years and found that people who consumed more than half a tablespoon of olive oil per day had a significantly lower risk of dying from dementia compared to those who rarely used it. That's not just heart health, that's brain health too. Now, Why extra virgin specifically? Because regular olive oil and light olive oil have been processed in ways that strip out the polyphenols. Those are the antioxidant compounds that give extra virgin olive oil its slightly peppery bite. That peppery taste is actually the good stuff working. If your olive oil doesn't have a little kick to it, it's probably not giving you the full benefit. 2 tablespoons a day is a good target. Drizzle it on salads, on roasted vegetables, on whole grain bread. Use it as your primary cooking oil. It's one of the simplest swaps you can make, and the research behind it is about as strong as it gets in nutrition science. Number 4. Dark leafy greens. Spinach, kale, collard greens, Swiss chard, romaine lettuce. These are nutritional powerhouses, and the research on cognitive protection is striking. The MIND Diet Study, that stands for Mediterranean-Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay, found that people who ate just 1 to 2 servings of leafy greens per day had the cognitive function of someone 11 years younger. 11 years! I want you to think about that for a moment. What makes greens so powerful? 3 things. First, they're rich in vitamin K, which is essential for brain health and blood clotting. Second, they're loaded with folate, which helps reduce homocysteine, an amino acid that, when elevated, is linked to cognitive decline and heart disease. And third, they contain lutein and zeaxanthin, antioxidants that protect both your eyes and your brain. 1 to 2 cups of raw leafy greens per day, or about half a cup cooked. A big handful of spinach in your morning eggs. A side salad with lunch. Some sautéed kale with dinner. It doesn't have to be complicated, and it absolutely doesn't have to taste bad. A little olive oil. There's food number 3 again. A little garlic, a little lemon juice, and you've got something genuinely delicious. And number 5, walnuts. I promised you a plant-based alternative for those of you who don't eat fish, and here it is. But honestly, even if you love fish, add walnuts too. Walnuts are the only tree nut with a significant amount of alpha-linolenic acid. That's the plant-based omega-3. And while your body doesn't convert it as efficiently as the omega-3s in fish, research shows it still provides meaningful anti-inflammatory and cardiovascular benefits. A large-scale study in the journal Nutrients followed over 31,000 adults and found that regular walnut consumption was associated with better cognitive function in older age, independent of other dietary factors. And the Predimed Plus trial found that adding walnuts to a Mediterranean diet further reduced inflammatory markers beyond what the diet alone achieved. There's even a nice bit of poetry in it. Walnuts look like tiny brains, and they're genuinely good for your brain. Nature sometimes just gets it right. About a small handful a day, that's roughly 1 ounce or 14 walnut halves. Toss them on your salad, mix them into oatmeal with those blueberries from earlier, or just keep a small container in your bag for a snack. Easy, portable, no preparation needed. So let's put it all together. 5 foods every day backed by serious research. Number 1, fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel, twice a week for omega-3s that protect your brain and heart. Number 2, blueberries, half a cup to a cup daily for those anthocyanins that cross the blood-brain barrier and actually improve your memory. Number 3, extra virgin olive oil, 2 tablespoons a day, the one with a little peppery kick, for cardiovascular and cognitive protection. Number 4, leafy greens, a cup or 2 of spinach, kale, or collards for the vitamin K, folate, and lutein that keep your brain 11 years younger. And number 5, walnuts, a small handful a day for plant-based omega-3s and anti-inflammatory power. None of these are expensive, none of them require a special trip to a health food store, and none of them are some trendy superfood that'll be forgotten next year. These are foods that have been studied for decades, and the evidence just keeps getting stronger. If you found this helpful, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to Age Sharper. I'm going to be here every week, going through the research on the health topics that matter most after 60. Food, exercise, sleep, brain health, and staying safe online. No fear-mongering, no miracle cures, just honest information from someone who cares. Next video, we're talking about something I think might be the single most underrated health habit for anyone over 60, and it costs absolutely nothing. I'll see you there. Take care of yourself. You deserve it.